Hello. I guess it's about Mercury transit in my natal um, astrology. So um, there is a strong urge to talk about certain subjects that come to my mind, and they just want to be expressed. So here I am trying to express them, my thoughts, and to share them with you. Um, there are two subjects I wanted to speak about, and first is actually it's only one. The subject I want to speak about is love, of course. What else? Um, First thing I want to speak about is self-love, and what does it mean um, to love yourself? Um, there are cases in life when we come across terms like he only loves himself or she only loves himself, and it's in a very negative context, and it means like this person is very selfish, thinks only about themselves, and um, this light is so weird. Maybe I should turn it a bit in different direction. Okay, no, it's not good. Mm-mm. This is so better, I guess. No. Anyway, so self-love, yes, and then you can hear or you can find yourself talking about someone that they only love themselves. Every time I hear this sentence, it's like something really screams inside of me, because I know that that is not true. The person that is full of hatred for the world around them, and who is extremely focused on themselves only, is not a person that loves themselves. It's I would say it's a kind of psychological pathology, and this person is very, very unhappy, and this person tries to fill the hole they feel in themselves with things from the outside. They try uh, to achieve certain goals just to feel the satisfaction um, from from other things on the outside, and it never actually fills this hole. Whatever they achieve is not enough, and it's never going to be enough. So those people that are that you say like they only love themselves, they don't love themselves. If they would really love themselves, they would behave in a very different way. What does it really mean to love yourself? Does it mean that you just suddenly say, well, I love you so much myself? Um, Sometimes you get those new age advices where you should love yourself, and you're not loving yourself enough, or something like that. And it's a bit funny because it doesn't really go like this. To be able to love yourself, first of all, you have to know yourself. And to be able to know yourself, you have to be present with yourself. You have to live in the present moment with everything that you feel, with everything that you are. And sometimes it can even mean that you need to spend some time alone, even years alone, to get to know yourself. um, it means, for some people it means years of um, depression, of pain, of very very intense and uncomfortable feelings. And it means they need to confront themselves with everything that is not really nice. For someone who lives in a place where they are always somehow surrounded with external amusement, external distractions, as whatever, films or friends or social life or events, concerts, workshops, whatever. So if a person is so much, uh, if their life is so much filled from the outside with all kinds of distractions and all kinds of content, they can't really know themselves because they are always distracted with this and that. Sometimes people try to fill the hole they feel inside with all these kind of distractions. Not sometimes, but always, actually. Um, and it never works. It never works. And then they come here, they go there, they go to this workshop, they go to that workshop, they go to from one teacher to another teacher, from guru to guru, from book to book. They search, they ask, they feel there's something else outside that will fill in the hole they feel inside, and it never really happens. It never happens because love is not outside. That's the first thing you have to realize. Love is not something that comes from the outside. Love is something you're built from. You are born out of love. Your everything is born out of love. Love is the only thing that is real, the only thing that exists. And that's something you have to realize by yourself, but not by distractions, not by trying to find the answers in certain places, but in staying present with yourself. As your consciousness becomes more stable in the present moment. This sounds a bit funny because it's always here. Consciousness is never somewhere else. But anyway, so when it starts to become very present, you can not show, but you can provide space for everything that you were hiding from yourself. So every person in this world has both negative and positive in themselves. Every person has pain and pleasure. Every person has darkness inside themselves. Every person has pain, let's say, so everyone has a positive and negative side of themselves. And what I mean positive is something that is pleasurable, that is nice to feel, like falling in love and feeling loved and feeling lovable and feeling beauty and beautiful and all this stuff. That's something we all have inside ourselves. There is also this negative side, and I mean like um, emotional pain, like hatred, maybe anger, sadness, feeling empty, feeling not enough, feeling like something is missing in your life, and feeling like not being lovable or not being beautiful enough or successful enough. All these things create strong pain in our psyche. So all these negative stuff we tend to escape from. So we try to fill in these negative feelings with nice music or nice films and nice events and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's a negative thing to do. It's actually very good for you to go towards these nice things. But the only way to love yourself is to become present with all the negative things inside yourself. Because what we subconsciously are trying to do is we are trying to be loved even with our darkness. We want our darkness to be loved. And we are searching for that love on the outside, in our partner or potential partner, or a lover, or a friend, or even a group, or whatever, a publicity or whatever. So we're trying to for our negative, for our darkness, we're trying to save it. We're trying to feel lovable even with this, even for that. And that's something that happens subconsciously. And we never actually succeed in this because we project love on the outside, and we believe that something from the outside will give the love that we seek. So someone who is only thinking about who you can see that they only invest in their makeup, in their hair, in their clothes, in their appearance, in their they're very like focused on themselves, and they even don't care for other people's feelings. They only want to achieve their own goals, and they don't care about anyone, and they just walk over everyone to come to their goal. And people say he or she, or they only love themselves. They hate themselves. They don't love themselves. They really hate themselves. Inside them there is a huge empty and dark feeling that is almost like a black hole that wants to eat everything. It's not love. Where is love there? I don't see love in those people. So and the one who loves themselves and who finds the space to accept the darkness, which is very, very natural, which is half of us. Half is positive, half is negative. And when this darkness gets touched by the light of your consciousness, of your presence, of this love, then you realize that this presence, your own very presence, is the love that you were seeking for. And then this love creates, this consciousness creates the space. Finally, the right space for everything that is negative to arise and to be accepted and to be loved and to be finally in the right place. I don't know how to say that better. So to love yourself means to be present with yourself. So when you discover this presence, you discover love, because you realize that this was the love that you were looking for whole your life, maybe, and in everything that you were seeking, you were looking for this love. And you fall in love with life, and you realize that everything, absolutely everything, is part of this love, and everything is part of yourself, actually. And you can't hate another, really, because even if the hatred appears, it appears in this love, and it's very different from the identified hatred that comes from subconscious mind. So when you love yourself, you can only love others. You can only feel how important life is and how beautiful all the variety of life is, and how all those colors and shapes of emotions, of physical appearance, of this, just, you realize this life is just beautiful the way it is. And right now, in this moment, everything is so beautiful and so perfect. It's only our dualistic mind that makes things appear negative, or it's just the mind that makes judgments around and about things. In reality, here and now, that is the only reality that really exists. Everything else is just imagination. The only reality now, here, is perfect. It's beautiful, it's perfect, it's made out of love. And that's the truth. That's the only truth. And that's the reality. The person that realizes this truth and this reality that is in front of your nose, in front of our nose all the time, they can't do harm to another. They can't think about themselves only. Whatever they do, they feel they are doing for entire community, and they feel like their purpose is to do things for the whole, not only for themselves, because there is no one self that is divided from the world. It's only illusion in our minds, and exactly this illusion creates suffering. It creates pain. It creates hatred, jealousy, competition, it creates all the shit that happens in the world. It's like the product, the main product of this reality, that we believe that we are separate beings, that the world is something outside of us, and that we only need to take care of ourselves and think only about ourselves. Reflection of this is unfortunately today's problems with plastic, today's problems with economy, today's problems with hunger, with well, whatever problems appear right now through the, you can see on the internet, there's so many information about pain in the world, about the plastic in the oceans, about the plastic in the living beings, and that's also one sign of how far we can go in destruction by believing in separation, by believing that we are separate beings that independent of this world. That's so sad when you see, but you know that even these beings that believe those things that are separate, you know that they are part of your own self, and you can't hate them, you can't say they're guilty or something, because you know that it's all part of the whole, and it's just like those little fragments didn't wake up yet, and they need to wake up to their true selves. And unfortunately, we need to learn from the painful experiences, because it seems like only pain will wake us up. I really honestly hope that something with this climate change will somehow turn for the better for us. But I mean, even if we destroy ourselves as a civilization, which would be really sad, because it's such a beautiful world, it's such a beautiful life, and it's sad if we can't leave it for our next generations. But even if it happens that we destroy it, you don't have to go into depression because of this, because I mean, we have to go one day or another anyway, so this body will dissolve at one point. So don't project your fear from death to the global climate change. That's my advice, because then it's easier. You don't have to be in terror every time you see the news. Yeah, well, that's something I really, really wanted to talk about, and it was the subject, self-love. So please don't tell me when you see somebody that is egocentric that they love themselves, because they don't. And I would really like them to love themselves, really honestly. It would create such a beautiful environment and social environment for everyone around them. So if you could do anything in this world, please love yourself. And I mean it. And I mean it fully, entirely. Love every shit out of yourself. Okay? Thank you.